Back to Jenna's kitchen. Halloween is over. I know, it's sad, but we still have some pumpkins left over. So do not throw these precious babies away, because I'm going to show you 2 ways to recycle your pumpkins today. So let's grab these pumpkins and let's get started. Okay, pumpkins are usually used for decorating, but after Halloween is over, what do you usually do with them? First step is to examine your pumpkins. Now this jack-o'-lantern, my brother has already carved it and it's already getting bad in the middle, so its time on this earth is done. But do not throw it away, because you can give this to your chickens if you have chickens like me, and they are going to love the pumpkin. They are going to love you forever if you give this pumpkin to them. But if you don't have chickens, put it in your compost pile. And if you don't have a compost pile, you might want to consider starting one, because they are awesome. And this jack-o'-lantern has not been carved, but you want to make sure it doesn't have any rotten spots or bruises on the pumpkin. But the flesh inside isn't that great for baking because it's a little bit not as rich and it's a little stringy. But there's nothing wrong with baking it, but the seeds in it are the best. And the pie pumpkin, it has good flesh and it has amazing seeds. And the pie pumpkin was basically made for baking because it has pie in its name, and they're really great for kids because kids love anything small. I should know because I'm a kid. So let's get started on making these 2 pumpkins recycled. Okay, these 2 pumpkins are a little bit hard to cut, so I'm going to get Mom to help me cut the pumpkins, and then we're going to get the seeds out. Alright, Mom got the pumpkin cuts. Whoop whoop. Now we're going to take a spoon and start digging out the guts of the pumpkin. We're going to set this pumpkin aside and give it to the chickens later. But now let's move on to the next pumpkin. And oh, look at here. The pumpkins are really moist, so this one had enough moisture to germinate and make a pumpkin sprout. So we're going to set him aside and get on with this pumpkin. This one has a lot more guts than that pumpkin. I have found that the best way is just kind of like scrape the top a little bit, and then until the seeds come out, and then you can really get them out. So now that we have all our pumpkin seeds out, we're going to start cooking the pumpkin. So what we do is we take a little bit of olive oil, kind of drizzle it in the middle. Take this one and start brushing. And with pumpkin, you can make pumpkin muffins, pumpkin rolls, pumpkin bread, anything with pumpkin. Comment down below and tell me what your favorite kind of pumpkin recipe is. Brushed with oil, we're going to take them, put them face down on the baking sheet. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. As you can hear, mine is already going. And bake them for 45 to 50 minutes. And then once they come out, you should be able to stick a fork through them. Then once that's done, peel off the skin, and I will show you what to do next. Alright, now for the fun part. We're going to take the pumpkin guts and search through to find these awesome seeds. This is so fun. It's really relaxing too. Alright, just kind of move your fingers around, get all the loose pieces out, and then you kind of gotta dig for the rest of them. It's like a paleontologist digging for dinosaur bones. So we have the pumpkin seeds out of the pumpkin pulp, and we just filled the bowl up with water to wash the pulp out of the seeds. And look at this pulp-free seeds. And when you fill it up with water, it's a lot of fun to just wash them when you're stirring your hands around in it, because it feels really good. Next step is going to dry these pumpkin seeds. Alrighty, so now that we've got our pumpkin seeds all washed, we're going to take a slotted spoon, go on the top, shake out the excess water, and put them on our pumpkin pan. This is a jelly roll pan that we're going to put our pumpkin seeds to dry on, and have some paper towels on it to absorb the water. Now we're going to spread them out into one little layer. Spread them out all evenly, all the way around. Pumpkin seeds everywhere. Okay, now we're going to take a paper towel, put it over the top, and pat them dry. Drum circle. This is all done. You might want to pick out any pumpkin pulp that you still may see. Alright, pumpkin seeds are dry. Now we're going to get the flavors and let's spice these things up. So the first one we're going to do is a spicy seeds. Now, I love spices, so I'm only going to put half a cup of seeds in there. But if you want more intensity, you could put less seeds. If you don't want as much spice, you could put even more seeds. So we have a teaspoon of Cajun seasoning, a fourth of a teaspoon of chili oil, and a half a teaspoon of olive oil. That way the seeds will, or the seasoning will stick to the seeds. Oopsies. Gotta get the spatula, get all that oil out. Want all the oil. And then a little bit of salt, or a little bit of pepper, and a little bit of salt. And then stir it up. Want to make sure it gets nice and even, that way you don't have a big bite of Cajun in one and then just a bland one. Mix it up really well. Oh, this smells really good. It smells really good. Our parchment paper tray, and we'll level it out as soon as we get all the seeds. So we don't want one big mound because then they will not cook evenly. Spread them out. Right, now let's move on to the savory seeds. I have a cup of seeds. Gonna get all the seeds in here. 2 tablespoons of butter. All right, we have a teaspoon of golden balsamic vinegar. Make it savory. And a teaspoon of seasoned salt. And then stir it all up. Again, you want to make sure it gets really nice and mixed. That way everything gets all seasoned. You can also make a sweet one by taking 2 tablespoons of butter, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a tablespoon of brown sugar. All of our seeds have been seasoned and it works out just great. My pumpkin is almost done, so as soon as that comes out, the seeds are going to go in 350 degrees for 30 minutes, stirring at the 15-minute mark. So, they are out of the oven. As you can see, the skin is a little bit darker. So, now we're going to do the doneness test. We're going to see if my fork can stick through them. So, here we go. Done. Done. So, both of these are done. Now we're going to let them cool, and then we're going to peel the skin off and do the next step. Okay, our pumpkin has cooled, and now we're going to take off the skin. You want to make sure it's cool, that way you don't burn your fingers. Trust me, that is not a fun time. I've done it before. You just want to peel off the skin. Make sure you leave a bunch of pumpkin, that way you're not wasting any pumpkin. Because this whole video is about saving these pumpkins. Just take off. And it's really coming off really easily, so. You have them all peeled. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take the pumpkin, put it in your bowl, and then you're going to puree it. And if you can't use all this pumpkin all at one time, you can really freeze it. It's that simple. And so we have all of our skin off. We're going to put it in here. Take a masher and just mash it. But you can also puree it in a blender. And this is the equivalent to about 2 cans of pumpkin. So we have turned your decoration into 2 awesome recipes. Pumpkin and pumpkin seeds. All mashed, and if you can't use all of this at one time, you can pop it in the freezer. It's that simple. And you're gonna have farm fresh pumpkin at your house anytime you want it. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, Jenna's Kitchen 16, to see what I make with this awesome farm fresh pumpkin. Okay, so we have turned 2 pumpkins in 2 pumpkin seeds, spicy and savory, and pumpkin puree. This is a great way to recycle your pumpkins after Halloween. And guess what? I found a seed. We have turned this brown looking seed into these amazing looking things. And seriously guys, I can munch on these all day long. They're really, really good. And if you make a sweet one, savory and sweet pair awesome together, just saying. If you like this video, please like it and comment down below and subscribe to Jenna's Kitchen. Plus, don't forget to share this with your pumpkin loving friends. Tell me what your favorite kind of pumpkin recipe is. It might be any of these 3.